everybody. My name is Georgina. In Facebook, I'm known as Baroness. So I'm being approached by the media, Voice of the Hills, to tell my side of story on how I spend my time during lockdown. I will start with the negative. So this year, we have been bombarded with the so-called COVID-19, the coronavirus thing. First of all, I should say it started like with the quarantine birthday I have this year on March, and it was not that nice because on birthdays we love to have our loved ones around, but this time it's like self-quarantine. So by the way, I'm a teacher here in Delhi in Vasant Valley School, Vasant Kunj, and I happened to take the off from my school before the whole school shut down, because I kind of have that the symptoms which we should say, like the flu, the fever, the headache, and the breathing problem and all. So I was asked to go to the hospital by my boss, and I went there. I was with my bestie, and he and we went to the hospital. And what's happened is that the entire hospital is the mainland people, and walking in with the face of this, when people tend to know that it comes from the whole viruses and everything comes from China. So when you actually have that face, it's a different experience. I should say I'm lucky enough that nobody actually call names, and I could not have the test because they said I am not eligible to have that test. So I was home quarantined, and I took a medicine, I take the appropriate steps, and I was kind of at first I was okay, because I said, okay, this thing might actually go away, because India is a hot country. I'm sure you guys will know that it lasted, the whole viruses kind of lasted longer in a cold place, in a cold region. And I said Delhi is a hot region, so it will just go away once the rain comes. That is just me thinking that, and I was so wrong. So the first thing which affect, the side effect which I get, from the whole thing, I should say, the viruses, was you don't want to go out too much, because even in your locality where you stay, people tend to look at you. And I'm positive, in the sense I reckon that from other states, you went through your Facebook, and then you went through Instagram or whatever, your social media, and people started complaining that these people are calling us corona, please go back, and then don't come, leave our country and stuff. So they get all those abusive languages, abusive accused. I mean, they were being accused wrongly. So when I see those things, it's quite depressing. And I just hope and pray that things won't go wrong. Then again, staying in Delhi and staying in a metropolitan city, you can't actually get rid of the news. Whenever you see the papers, the online news, the news feed, you see all kinds of things happening over there. And there were a time that I felt that things are going to go pretty wrong, and it won't be as smooth as our daily lives won't be that smooth anymore. And somewhere around, it's not only about the face, there was also a news later on that some landlords actually drove out, they were trying to drive out the tenants who were doctors and nurses. So you can imagine what the kind of situation it leads. And then I keep on reflecting onto myself sometimes. Will I see my family, and will there be any family reunion after this? Will one of us, the family member, will happen to not survive from this situation. So it was like kind of really like tiresome, and that is the third part. That is the stress. So when somebody is stressed, I don't know how they deal with. They deal with the anxiety, and some will have the problem of like sleeping, eating disorder, everything. But from my side, it's really horrible, I should say, at my age, having stress eating. Like I keep on eating like any time of the night, which is really bad. And during this COVID-19, I happened to gain like 6 kilos. I'm sure like nobody will expect me to have this puffy and big face, which I can't get rid of. And nobody's allowed to go outside. The only place, the furthest I can reach, was my balcony, and the parks were locked, the communities and every place was locked. You cannot go out. So forget about gym, forget about exercising in the road. You went there, you walk out, maybe in between the curfew, you went there, you don't see like people in that manner, and only a crazy person will walk out. And there's that mask thing again, which kind of really suffocate me, because I have breathing problem and stuff, like naturally way before this virus started. I used to have this problem. So the call I get from my parents was, "Are you coming back home? You should be coming back. It's okay, leave your job and everything will be fine." Then my gut, my instinct told me not to go home. And later on, back at home, like basically like I'm from Manipur, so I keep on like getting the news that in Manipur things have started slowing down, the supplies, the commodities we have, because mostly our stuff, like our goods and like the sold goods or whatever we have, the marketing stuff comes from like Morea. We all know that mostly. So they have stopped that part. And there is one thing, staying in the metropolitan city is it does have its peak, because you can even have the chance of having that panic buying. So people started lining up. I also have a colleague who's in Dwarka. She told me that the entire like grocery store and the shopping complex and all those places, they got drained out like within like a week. Everything was sold out. So it doesn't matter like how many family members you were. People in their common sense tend to store lots of things. But back at home, they don't even have the chance to have panic buying. And I was worried for my parents and my families, my loved ones. And then again, so later on I came to realize that if I keep on like thinking, and if I keep on looking, watching all those news feeds, it's going to be more like a disaster for me. Because somewhere around, like, you can't deal, you have the guilt of like, you have the guilt leaving thing, as in like you hear that these people are having, these people are positive, and then like in some people there, in some hospitals there are like lots of dead body which their family can't attend. So you keep on getting all this news, and then these are really realistic news. And one fine day, sometimes you happen to wake up in an ungodly hour, and then you keep on trying to analyze the whole situation, because it is unprecedented, and you somewhere around you believe that it's a dream, like it's a nightmare where you really want to wake up. And then again, I just look at myself and I said, okay, this thing is really not happening. This thing happens in movies, not in reality. Of course, then when there you see the morning light, you came to realize that it's real. It's as real as it can be. And I think that was how things were like bad, because like, see, being a teacher, we are asked to have Zoom like meeting online classes, and what happened is it's frustrating, because the kids, kind of associate with the screen time, with only game time, and with they are mostly like reinforcement, like your iPads, your iPhones, or like your laptop, whatever. It's a reinforcement on normal days. On like this situation, it should be used as learning material, and well, doesn't happen too well. Whatever you have prepared for yourself, you can't even execute it online. Somewhere around that kids get distracted. So there's that thing again. Now I think the negative part, each and every person cope with their own life, and that was what I like happened to go through. Now I really want to come back to the positive side, and I don't want to put this in a very like stressful, like I don't want to deliver this thing in a very formal, I should say. I'm going to tell you like really casually. So I started reaching out people. This is what I did. And so how do you reach people? Of course, you can't have each and everyone's phone number. So there's your Facebook and Messenger. I started calling my Facebook friends like through Messenger. Like I asked them first like how they're dealing, or when people say hi, how are you, what is happening over there. I was so happy to tell them that, you know what, okay, like I'm ready like to connect with my friends, because when you have a work, you can't actually connect with each and everyone. So during this time, like it was a good time to connect with people. You hear about them, and there I came to find out that I have lots of nice friends, and maybe kind of funny friends, like not so awesome. Okay, I don't need to elaborate that part. And then again, here comes some people are kind of hilarious, because they think that you can ask people whatever you like. Of course, I will be happy to answer each and everything besides this corona thing, because you know it's depressing. I just want to like drive it away. And so I started like, okay, I have to focus on myself. This is my time to prepare myself mentally and to pamper myself. And the best thing I did was I did a beauty treatment on my own. You see, like I wear makeups and stuff, and I love doing that. So I did my makeup, basic makeup routine stuff like daily, and I was more than happy. Then again, there is that side effect of that, you know, stress eating. So the weight gain never stops; it keeps on coming. So when I'm really like focusing onto myself to be happy and all, you do get like some funny, you know, messages. People who are so much into my life. Hello everyone, I'm not important. You know, you should focus your attention to someone else, because I don't deserve that at all. And they will be like, you're so old. Like how long are you gonna stay? And it's like, how long are you gonna stay single? Aren't you gonna get married? I was like, hello, is this whole thing, pandemic thing, not affecting your area? I just tell them, if I'm well enough, I'm an open book. Everybody will know what is happening with me on Facebook, because I kind of think that it's my like territory. So whatever I experience it, like I will put it on Facebook. And I gave them ridiculous answers somewhere around. Okay, so then coming back to another, like how I deal with it positively, I started baking. You know, you have lots of options, like some people, okay, coming back to cooking and stuff. So I don't want to actually post whatever I cook, I bake, because somewhere around, you know, people don't get enough to eat. They're being like literally like locked inside their house, especially like by the landlords somewhere in Gujarat and all. I think we must have seen like those viral news and stuff, which was really painful. And some people don't even have like a square meal per day. So I chose not to post them. But I should say, like, what I find another version of me is, I love cooking, of course, when I'm in the mood. And the another part is like baking. So I started baking cakes, baking muffins, and I make an awesome pancake. That's what I did. And of course, I ate those alone again. And those were the things like I did usually. like I try to like spend my free time with. And there again comes, I thought I will be writing my COVID-19 diaries. I start like 1 pages, 2 pages, which was kind of interesting. Then again, somewhere around it was kind of depressing again, so I checked it off again. And then again, I have lovely friends like whom I get in touch with. I have lovely colleagues, like really good friends, and whenever I need help, or see, like if you want to, you can always cry like alone. It really helps. Don't try to, you know, bottle up too much, because somewhere or at some time you'll go ballistic, which won't help you. So if you want to cry, cry out. I miss my parents, I cry out, and sometimes I call them, and that's how I deal with it. And then most of the time I find time for myself to beautify myself, and I just don't want to get depressed, you know, by saying that, oh, I have become so fat, I have become so this and this. That's a complaint, that's a normal complaint of any girl. It's like, you know, like gaining weight is like our arch enemy. So I can stop beautifying myself, and I have my own dietitian, fortunately, so my dietitian keeps on sending me what I should do each and every day. Exercise. Okay, the exercise part I do not do because I could not start. And another way of dealing is I used to love dancing, like a lot. And once you have your YouTube, your Wi-Fi and everything, you can dance like the entire day, the entire night. And somewhere around that will really bring the positive things in you. Okay, above all, like we don't like forget to submit ourselves to God, our Creator. Not to drive away, just to, you know, accept that these things are really happening, and we should learn to accept what we have, so that when all these things are over, we will know, you know, the greatness of how blessed we were, And I should say this is quite a long message, or this is quite a long video, and even if you don't watch the entire video, I'll be really happy. But thank you very much from my side once again, Voice of the Hill. Thank you for contacting me. Bye, take care.